Hardy har har.
What does that mean? Like a laugh?
I think, yeah, that's a laugh. There are many different ways to laugh. There's laugh my ass off. There's LMAO, LMBO, LOL.
What's making you hardy har 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 today?
Nothing particularly. Honestly, bitch, I am tired. I woke up very early today because we taped something this morning and I had to get up at like fucking 5 o'clock. I'm like...
Super secret project?
It's an interview that's coming out next week. So next week, everyone will know what it is.
What's it about?
It's about drag.
Oh, that's
I know.
exciting.
Isn't that weird? They had me talking about drag. It's like, are y'all sure?
Is it with Oprah?
Almost, actually. I would call her the white
Gayle
Oprah.
King. Barbara Walters? She's not doing our interviews anymore.
You don't know that. You don't know what Barbara's doing.
Barbara Walters she has publicly retired from doing interviews.
Yeah, but she be coming back once. She come back like once every 5 years on 60 Minutes. Like, hi, it's me, Barbara Walters again.
I don't think Barbara Walters done an interview in, I think, legit 10 or 15 years. She's very... Barbara Walters is very old.
No, she came back for like that 60-minute special like in 2015, whatever it was.
Did she?
Her and Diane Sawyer.
I mean, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, how old is Barbara Walters? Yeah, she is not a spring chicken.
How old is Barbara?
Bitch, she is 92 years old. Barbara Walters is not doing no fucking...
I mean, 8 years ago, she was 94. I mean, 84.
That's not how that works.
She was 84. And Joy Behar is 81 years old and she's on The View. And Joy Behar, she's going to quit anytime soon. Joy Behar looks good for her age. That is a good looking old lady.
Wait, Joy's 81?
Either 80 or 81, something like that. What are you talking about?
Wild. Hey, Google, how old is Joy Behar?
She looks good for her age.
She's 79 years old.
Oh, 79. And it was up there. Joy looks so good for her age. I'm like, bitch, Joy is doing life right. She's been in 2 marriages. She has a great kid. She has a loving grandkid. She has a dog she's crazy about. She just drives on the block to work every 5 days a week, sitting on her chair talking.
She might be getting some light cosmetic procedures done.
Maybe. Who knows what she's doing? Joy Behar is a girl. Do you like how I exposed you on TikTok for doing all of your little procedures? Now all the fans know. All the secrets about you.
All of my little procedures? Well, I guess I'll expose you now and just tell everyone that I literally had to teach you how to do the TikTok. I literally had to teach Monét the trend. I had to teach Monét the angle to stand at, give Monét the idea. When someone's like, Monét, you act like you don't know TikTok trends. I want to come in like, I literally don't. TikTok, honey.
I don't know TikTok trends. And like, I tried to like, but because TikTok, you need to be involved in TikTok every day. And I'll get like spurts of like, ooh, I want to watch TikTok. And I'll do it for like all day that day. And I don't do it for like another 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, God damn it. Now I lost all the trends. And then what I do is sometimes I save the sound. I'm like, ooh, I like this. I'll do it. And I go back and listen to the sound I favorited, but I can't remember what the video was and what the trend was.
But you say, oh, you have to save the video. You like the video.
I know. But then I do like the video, but I can't remember what the video was, like what it corresponded with.
Or you add the video to your favorites. That's the realty. So like liking videos is like a way to save them and it's a way to just like express like. But if you really, really, really want to, you click the little flag tab and you save it, or the little bookmark tab, and you add it to your favorites. And if you are really wanting to save a TikTok, you just download it to your phone.
That's wild. That TikTok makes you download people's content. It's kind of wild.
Well, it's to get the sharing. I mean, it's to help it share, but it also downloads with their screen name, their handle.
This is true. This is true. You know,
still, like it puts a TikTok watermark with their handle on it, so you can still tag them.
I got this offer at the end of like 2021 by Instagram Reels to do an Instagram Reel every day, and this will be paid if I did it every day. And I was like, this sounds. Now again, this is subjective, right? To me, that sounds like so intense because I would be so caught up in like quality of video and how good it was, and I want to give the best stuff. It would stress me out every day to put out a video every day.
It's not every day. I have the same. I currently have the deal. It's not every day.
No, mine was every day.
Every 3 days. Oh, why would that doesn't sound great at all. I do Mondays. I have to deal with Instagram reels. I do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I release a reel, and it's I like it. I enjoy it actually. It's really fun. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh no, I forgot to post today. But then I save a lot of videos to my phone. I bank up some reels. I have old stuff that I was doing back in the day, a lot of drafts, and I'll just post them. I'm actually gonna make some reels tonight, as a matter of fact.
What are you doing tonight?
Tonight, I am going to the recording booth with Killingsworth to work on my EP. And then I'm going to be hanging out with Andrew Thomas Short. And then I'm going to make some reels.
Work.
What are you doing tonight?
After this, I'm going to take a nap. And then I need to go to the gym. And then Patty and I need to get ready for tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow and Saturday, because I'm shooting all of my looks tomorrow and Saturday. And so I'm going to be... You're
doing all of your looks in 2 days?
All of them, bitch. Every single last one. I'm going to be...
How many looks is it?
Exhausted.
How many looks is it? I shot all my looks for We're Here in how many days? 3 days. And I could have done it in 2 days, but one of the days did require not extreme, but prosthetics. So I ended up giving that basically an entire day. But I shot all my looks for We're Here. I think it was 22 looks. How many was it, baby? 22 looks in 3 days. But I shot 21 of them, or 22 of them all on... No, I think I shot all 21 of them on the first 2 days.
Work.
Which was honest, it was wild. It really was madness. I had to book out the studio space, which thankfully we're both with PEG. Are you using PEG, or are you one of those girls? Are you going on location?
No, I did on location for this other thing I have to do. But this, I'm doing them all in PEG. So Patty and I we're doing it different this year. I was like,
you in another show, bitch?
Yeah, something else I did. Patty and I was like, I don't want to do a location thing. I was like, Patty, I was like, I was a little played out. So Patty and I we're doing a little deconstructed this time. We're interested to see how it's going to turn out. We're doing it very, very minimalistic.
Can we talk about something that you can actually talk about? I can't do any more cryptic conversations.
You're the one that gets aggravated. No one else, bitch. I am you. You're the one asking me.
I know.
You're the one asking me about. You're asking me about some shit that I'm doing.
I'm speaking for myself.
Okay, but you're the one asking me, knowing that I can't go into full details. You're the one asking me, then getting mad that I can't give an answer.
You brought it up. I didn't bring this up. You brought it up.
Well, all I said was I was shooting some looks, and you're like, "Ooh, for what for?" And but Bob, you know what I'm shooting looks for. Like, you bitch, use your fucking noodle.
But but you're saying stuff like, but we're doing this. It's new. It's something deconstructed. I can't tell you what it is.
Well, because I want it to be a surprise. So I don't want to spoil it. I want it to be a surprise, and so people to react to it. It's not like super sick. Like I can't say. I want people to be surprised.
I like surprises too. I get it. I love surprises. All I'm saying is me, and I am not speaking for the masses. I don't think I'm speaking for. I only speak for myself.
Well, you're speaking to the masses.
I'm speaking to them. I'm not speaking for them. Having a cryptic conversation about something you can or can't do. Like, for example, me, if I can't mention it, I just won't bring it up until it's time. Then I'll be, okay, now we'll talk about it, because now I can actually talk about it. But normally, unless I've been really backed into a corner and I have to mention it, I usually won't mention stuff that I can't talk about. But also, I mean, you have your own thing. But as a favor to me, if you're willing to, and if you're not willing to,
I don't think it's weird. You. I don't think it's weird to say, yeah, this weekend I'm shooting my looks, and I'm really excited to show them off. That could be a nice conversation that can transition to something else. It doesn't need to be this deep dive into what I'm doing, how many looks I'm doing. It doesn't need to be this crazy process that you're making it out to be, bitch.
Want to repeat, didn't say it was weird, didn't say it was strange. I don't think I'm speaking a popular opinion. I'm speaking for myself, me and me alone. This is not an opinion that people are sharing. This is just coming from the mouth of Bob, the drag queen. It does not reflect anyone else's views. It's just me and my little brain cooking on its own terms. But like, for example, if I were to say, like I didn't say like, oh, what are the looks? Can you describe each look in great detail? But then you added the element being like, oh, and there's something extra special. We're doing this thing and it's a little deconstructed, and we're excited to show you. Then that makes it like, I didn't even ask you about that detail. You just threw it in.
Yeah, and then but the normal response
that's
would
your
be like,
style. You are one of those people.
the normal response would be like, "Ooh, work girl, I can't wait to see it." When I tell when I did my looks for when I did my looks for We're Here, blah blah blah, and then we'll still into something else. I think you are drumming up this and double toil and trouble, and then when I do the looks, fire, cauldron, bubble. I just not all that. I don't think it's that wild. I really don't.
And we can you can move on. You're the one always tell me I'm not normal, so I don't know why you're still expecting normal responses out of me.
Yeah, with your fucking 2-finger gooch.
You wow for that.
Your 2-finger fucking gooch. You are the X.
You and your big ogre taint. You and your ogre taint. The green mile between your asshole and your balls.
Girl, well, when you got a lot of surface area, you got a lot of room to play with. Hey.
Do you know what the green mile is? What that refers to?
Of course.
I learned this only because of the movie Green Mile.
Michael Clark Duncan.
No, you know what the actual the phrase the Green Mile refers to? I didn't know. It's not being It's Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Rest in peace. Omarosa's ex, by the way. Omarosa was dating him when he passed.
I know. Omarosa was dating Michael Clark Duncan before he died.
Which kind of lets me realize that Michael Clark Duncan was probably this like intense Republican. Anyway, that's another point.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I said probably, not necessarily, but I have a hard time imagining someone with as conservative views as Omarosa had dating someone liberal. That would be really wild.
But also, Omarosa seemed like somebody who made, because I feel like when she was on The Apprentice the first time, like Omarosa was not this like right wing Republican bitch. A lot of people speculate that Omarosa jumped ship because it would give her a higher profile because she was friends with Donald Trump. Even people say Donald Trump wasn't a fucking radical Republican until he was. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks that Omarosa jumped ship because she wanted more status, because she would get more status in the Republican Party because it was so radical, and she's so good at fucking TV theater. Omarosa is so good at TV theater. She did it on The Apprentice. She did it on Wendy Williams. She's great at it.
I mean, I cannot confirm whether or not she jumped ship. That doesn't seem far-fetched to me. But I do know that she did work in the Bush administration and the White House before she was on The Apprentice. So I do think that she has been a lifelong Republican.
Also I also want to say there are black Republicans, like that lady that you don't like, the funny lady, not that you don't like, the one that you think is crazy because she's a Republican.
Candace Owens?
Not Candace Owens. The one who's on The Talk, the comedian.
Oh, Sherry Shepherd.
That's not Sherry Shepherd. Sherry Shepherd was on The View.
Cheryl Underwood. Sorry,
Cheryl Underwood. Yeah, they are.
And I just want to be clear. I did not say I don't like Cheryl Underwood.
Yeah, I know.
There's no beef between me and Cheryl Underwood.
I literally said no. You didn't say anything like.
I'm just reiterating. Has nothing to do with you. I'm just reiterating for the world that I do not have any beef with Cheryl Underwood.
But yeah, there are black Republicans. Doesn't mean that they're like, wow, like Miss Omarosa, Miss Candace Owens. I think, is Sherry Shepherd a Republican?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's just like a flat earther or something like that. She wasn't like a Republican though.
I don't remember. I don't watch The Real or The Talk or whichever.
The Real got canceled.
Is The Real The Talk?
The Real got canceled.
I thought it ended. I mean, after 8 seasons, is that a cancellation if it's 8 seasons?
I mean, Lonnie Love put out a statement saying that COVID killed their show. So,
who said that?
Lonnie Love was one of the hosts of The Real. Love Lonnie Love,
and she said that it was because of
yeah, she put out this long statement, COVID? But that was part of it.
I mean, I imagine it was that COVID took a lot from us, honey.
Yes,
COVID really came and just ransacked the dolls, honey.
She ruined my show.
Really ransacked the dolls.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, COVID did come and ransack, shut the whole system down, didn't it?
The whole thing.
The whole building got shut down.
Damn. COVID really said, fuck you, you black bitch. You bald black bitch.
And everybody else worked in the building too. That's really wild.
Isn't it so crazy that Latrice Royale chastised came after Santino? Take off your hat, you bald bitch, you balding bitch. That was so aggressive.
Take off your hat, you bitch. You're balding bitch.
That was.
Well, I think that she was.
I love it.
It makes sense because she was like backstage talking to her friends and like in her feelings and sick of being critiqued. And that's the thing about reality TV. You get to the stuff that we all say all the time. It just happens to be there's a camera there and there's millions of people watching, listening to you say it.
Yeah.
So like, how many of us would not be able to get away with the stuff that we've said if we hadn't been caught? You know what I mean? In fact, let's talk more about that when we get back. you have anything on TV you want to take back? Anything you saw on TV you want to take back?
What is this? This is the thing I said. I mean, it's coming out later. I can't really say what it is. But this thing I said that I would take back.
Oh my God, you're so exhausting.
No,
since
there's
Monét
nothing I
is
said
doing
on TV I would take back. It was nothing I've said on TV that I would take back. There's nothing.
Monét is doing her sad attempt at comedy, which is a great segue because today our topic
I want to see sad attempts at comedy. We should talk about Your Fashions on season 8, honey. That's comedy. Hilarious.
Oh my God, Monét. I'm just rubbing my eye on the microphone. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is there anything you would take back on TV?
I don't hate Lord. I was really in a bad mood that day, and I was very irritated. And for some reason, I just said I hate Lord. When the truth is, I don't. I have practically no strong feelings about Lord. But what came out of my mouth on that day was I hate Lord, which isn't true. That's just not true at all. And, my mom gave me a lesson years ago about saying you hate the people. And I really don't like to say I hate people in general anyway. Mm-hmm. So maybe I would, if I could go back in time, I would have metered my response and not said, I hate Lord, because I don't hate Lord. I don't. People to this day are like, I don't say Lord in front of Bob. And I'm like, I think Lord is a great artist.
Have you ever seen The Diamond in the Flesh, though?
No, but I do cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies. You know what I mean?
Same.
That is true.
Bob,
and I do take a little heroin. Isn't Lord's name like an old lady name, like a witch name?
Lord, Lorde.
Like Lord has one of those names where like.
Oh yeah, you read it. It's like Doja Cat's
Her name is Ella Marija Lani Yellick O'Connor.
Oh, is she Irish?
I think she's from New Zealand.
She's the Kiwi.
I don't know what her lineage is. But she is a Kiwi. From Takapuna, New Zealand.
Kiwi wanna kai kai, honey. Kiwi wanna kai kai.
Kiki wanna kai kai, but none of these girls are my type. I love that she wrote into her thing. She was like, "Bitch, I be fucking other queens."
Who said this? Who's really?
I mean, kai kai is really technically a term for, but again, language evolves. But kai kai is kind of a term that originated to mean fucking in drag, like queens in drag fucking. But then kai kai kind of just became a term for any two queens who are fucking in general.
Who said this? They acted kai kai?
Kiana or Kiari, something. Her name is she's from Canada's Drag Race.
Alexa, stop.
Wanna kai
kai. The bitch from Canada.
Google listen. She don't be going crazy like that. Google be like, all right, I'll chill out. Alexa said, I'm in the conversation now too, nigga.
This is what you talking about, that queen from Canada, Kiki?
Yeah, no, her name's not Kiki. Her name's like Kiana or Kiara or something. And she said Kiki wanna kai kai, but none of these girls are my type.
Work.
Which is a pretty fierce line.
Bob, comedy. Ba-dum-bum. Why are you being such a fucking weirdo?
I'm not. That was just such a weird, like, that transition was so weird. Oh my God.
Wow. So you think people who transition are weird? Interesting. Bob, you comedy. Oh God, yo! If my emails,
do you want me to leave the conversation? Because you are doing, you're having a stroke.
It's like every
Bob,
second
comedy.
comedy. When did you first realize you were funny?
Jokes.
When did you first realize you were funny?
I thought I was funny for a long time, but I remember thinking I was hilarious in 9th grade or 10th grade. I was sitting behind Dernika Dodson, and she turned around and she was like, "Oh my God, you are the funniest person I know. You are the funniest person I know." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then a couple other people were like, "Yeah, you are the funniest person I know." Then I started kind of like really leaning into my sense of humor.
Yeah, I feel like in school you really start to form, for not everyone, but a lot of people start to form like who they are. Like you, like the telltale signs of who you will be later on in life or what your strengths are. You are formed like in school. Like I was always like the funny guy with the person, like the funny personality. Like I wouldn't say like I wasn't in school telling yucks like you probably were, like, you know, over by the fucking math textbooks, but I was always like someone who brought levity into a room and had like a big personality.
Yeah, I would specifically tell my jokes near the algebra textbooks.
Oh, I know you were. You're like 1 + 2. Am I right?
Trigonometry book. Well, algebra is actually 1 + X.
Whatever, you know what I mean. All right, Pythagorean, calm your ass down. Calm that theorem down.
And I also thought it was funny I remember in 7th grade, I remember moving to when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, I'm going to be the funny person. Like I remember like being like, I'm going to like be a little bit of a bad boy. I'm gonna tell jokes in class. I'm gonna make the whole class crack up. And then I was just cracking the whole class was like laughing and just like laughing their asses off. And Miss Sharon pulled me aside after class and she was basically like, hey, I don't think you want to be that guy.
Like you don't want to be funny?
Do your work. No, like the class clown, like distracted. Like I was intentionally like my goal was to distract the entire class and get them all to laugh. And then Miss Sharon was like, you don't really strike me as that type. You might want to do your work, Mary. And then I was like, you know what? You're right. I will start doing my work. Sorry. Thanks. Shout out to Miss Sharon.
And did you start doing your work?
Yeah. And I graduated 7th grade.
Work.
I've only ever failed one class in all of my years of schooling. I failed one class. I failed Algebra 1 in 9th grade. And I had to retake it in 12th grade. And when I was retaking the class, I remember being there being like, oh my God, like when I was a 12th grader and I saw these like 9th graders, they looked like kindergartners to me. I was like, I am too grown. I'm too grown.
Hey, you was a big old 6'2" nigga too. You was big.
I was 6'2" in 9th grade too, Mary. Let's get that clear, honey. Okay. But I was like, these are children. I cannot be in the class with these elementary school ass kids. The fuck I'm doing up in this bitch. You know what I mean?
You should have passed it the first time.
But that was you're right. I should have paid attention and done my homework, and I did not, and I failed Algebra 1. I have a question about
homework. I fucking hate homework. Homework is so fucking annoying. Homework is so fucking stupid. Ugh. God.
Not Monét in a flashback. Not Monét triggered.
I used to hate homework. I used to fucking hate homework.
The homework was the worst. The absolute worst. I have a question for you. Do you think comedy is judged more harshly than other forms of art?
I mean, I think it's subjective. I think if you're a comedian, you think so. But I think if you're an artist, because art to me, art is super subjective. Like sometimes if someone is funny, you just cannot help but laugh. But if I hold up a picture of scribbles on this, if I hold up the spoon and I bend it and I put some paint on it, more people will. I think that will cause more conversation. Like that's fucking ugly or it is brilliant. So I think when someone's funny, like 9 times out of 10, you just can't help but laugh.
Well, I think the difference between like a spoon with bent up with paint on it would be really like far out there art, and there's also humor that is in that realm too. People like is his name Julio del Toro? No, not Julio del Toro. What's his name, baby? Los Spookies. Julio Torres. Julio Torres is like this really interesting brand of comedy where he's like. I don't even know how to explain it. He has an HBO special called My Favorite Shapes, and it's like comedy where it's kind of like the bent up spoon with paint on it, and some folks kind of like I don't get it. Whereas if you see like just an objectively good painting, you're like, oh my God, that is a nice painting. Even if you aren't into art, you're like, damn, that is a great that painting is done. That is just impressive. How well that painting's done. I feel the same way about a classically structured joke. Like a classically structured joke, you'll laugh at it even without thinking. Whereas something that's a little more cerebral or avant-garde or niche might make you be like, I don't know if that's my kind of humor.
But even a joke is not classically structured, like there are some jokes that may not be classically structured, especially like long form jokes or like things that are jokes that have all this like misdirection and shit like that you don't see coming. That you just cannot help but laugh at. So I guess ultimately I don't think that comedy is judged more harshly than others. I think now we are in a time where language is evolving a lot and people are reclaiming different words, and we're seeing that things that we thought that were funny before are really offensive now. So I think under today's lens, comedy may be scrutinized a bit more than other art forms. And I mean, look at what just happened, which everyone is sick and tired of talking about, where someone got on stage and slapped someone for making a joke. Like, comedy is just in a different space right now, and people are figuring out how to adjust to what this new era of comedy is. Which, again, the pendulum has gone so far crazy, right? Like, people are being super cautious about how they're delivering jokes. Is it going to stay that way? Is it going to go back the other way? Who knows?
Well, I was wondering because, okay, like, for example, I've noticed, like, you can make movies about, like, sexual assault, paintings about slavery, songs about the Holocaust,
movies about the Holocaust,
write plays about, substance abuse. And these are all art forms. And I think comedy is an art form. And if someone uses their art form, which is humor, to explore these topics, then I think that it is more heavily scrutinized than if someone makes a bad movie about the Holocaust. I think, well, I don't know. I'm not Jewish, so I can't say, but I do think there are people who are entering the conversation being like, do we need another slave trauma porn movie?
Oh yeah, a lot of black people are like that. They were like, stop capitalizing on stop showing my suffering. Like, this woman, I forget her name, she has a show on MSNBC, or she's a correspondent on MSNBC or CNN. She was guesting on The View, and they're talking about this whole thing about critical race theory and what they're teaching in schools to kids. And she's like, I have my kids. She's like, I'm a black woman. I have a black cousin. I have a whole black baby. She's like, I don't want my kids learning about slavery in school. I want them to learn about the triumphs of black people. I'm so sick and tired of them showing the horrible parts about black people and how and to woe us and how sorry it is to be us. She's like, I want them to learn about positive, affirming things about black people, not about slavery. And again, I'm not a parent, so I can't speak to that for kids, but I think that it's important to learn that. But as a mother, she feels she does not want her kid to know that. Well, she does not want her kid to not know it, but she's so sick and tired of her kid being inundated with just black people and slaves and making those two things synonymous in school, which is a fair argument.
I don't know that it is a fair argument. I think that it really is very important. That, I mean, I'm not a parent. I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? But like, I do think that it is. I can speak for myself and my learning experience growing up. I'm glad that I learned about that.
Sure.
I would feel very silly if I didn't know about that stuff. If I didn't know about it, I'd be like, this. Then I got older, and everyone's like, you don't know who Harriet Tubman is?
I don't think she's saying she does not want to learn about it. I think she's saying that she wants to put more positive, affirming things about black people. Yes, you could use too much about slavery, but she wants to.
I thought you were saying she didn't want to know about it at all.
No. She wants to put. But it's only that. She's like, it's only about slavery. It's only about Jim Crow. It's only about that stuff. She wants more affirming things and more positive images of black people for her kids in school.
Was that your experience with Black history growing up in school?
No, I would say it was like, wait, I want to go back to something you said earlier about comedy. Oh, I think with what you're saying about the different art forms, comedy, the reason why comedy feels a little weird is because there's something about bringing levity to those things. It feels, not for me, because I love comedy, I like jokes, but I think there's something about using your art form to bring levity to something like the Holocaust or to like slavery. So there's something about that feels icky, right? So you do like an art piece, you do a movie, and you do like, I've never seen like a funny Holocaust movie, and maybe they're out there, I don't know.
There's one. It's called Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit is a movie with Scarlett Johansson where this kid has an imaginary best friend, and the best friend is Hitler. And Hitler's kind of like really kind of this goofy character. He's like, yeah, you can, like, I can't do a good German accent, but he's like kind of like joking around with this kid, and his best friend is Hitler. That's what I'll say. His best friend is Hitler.
It's called Jojo Rabbit?
And like kicking it. It's called Jojo Rabbit. And Scarlett Johansson plays his mom in this movie. And then of course it gets sad in the end of the movie, but there's a lot of humor in Jojo Rabbit. And they also use it in The Producers. There's an entire musical in The Producers called Springtime for Hitler in Germany.
Jojo Rabbit.
where Mel Brooks, who is a famous Jewish writer, he's Jewish, right? Mel Brooks, I'm pretty sure. Can you Google that, baby? Wrote this bit in his he's Jewish. He wrote this bit in his show where the producers are trying to produce the worst play you can possibly make that no one would ever want to see, and they made a comedy called Springtime for Hitler.
So I guess a part of that.
So people use humor to. In my experience from outside watching in, it feels like a lot of times Jewish people do use humor to talk about the Holocaust, and I've seen Black people use humor to talk about slavery as well.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But if it's so with a movie like what you're talking about with the producers coming from a Jewish person, whereas if you, Bob the Drag, is on stage making jokes about the Holocaust, that is just not. That's not cool because you're not Jewish. But if you are, I think when it's coming from that race, when I see Black people making jokes about slavery, and of course you have Black people who won't like it. Black people don't even want Black people to use the N-word. That exists. Shangela's grandmother. But I think that it's different when it comes from the lens of that person of that race. What?
Let's take a break.
What are you laughing at?
Fresh from San Diego, California comes a sunglasses brand that I'm absolutely in love with, and I love wearing them. I'm talking about Blenders Eyewear. You're going to be just as hooked as me when you see how amazing these shades are. I got the Lucky Joker sunglasses. I use them when I'm going on Runyon Canyon or, avoiding the paparazzi on Runyon Canyon.
Girl, what paparazzi? Who?
It's you, Monét. Always follow me trying to take pictures.
That is so true. Chase Fisher started Blenders by selling his beachy shades out of a backpack while doubling as a surf instructor on Pacific Beach. You know Pacific Beach?
Yeah.
It's on the Pacific.
Yeah, and it's a beach too. Yeah. I love that so much about it.
His goal is to create an adventurous mid-price eyewear option with the same cool factors of the leading styles. Unlike expensive big brand shades that you probably lost or smashed in the past, Blenders are actually affordable, so you're not going to cry as much when the inevitable happens. Because let me tell you something, ain't nothing like spending hundreds of dollars on a pair of shades and you lose them like a month, a week, a day later. It's so annoying.
That sounds very upsetting.
Yeah.
Now, Blenders has a team of in-house designers that are constantly coming out with new styles, like from orange polarized wraparounds, tortoiseshell frames with purple lenses, and the classic gold arms on black lenses.
Lenses?
I love a classic look, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's not just sunglasses. Blenders has prescription glasses, readers, and blue lights, as well as a snow collection with goggles and accessories.
Live life in forward motion with Blenders today.
To score 50% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code SiblingVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code SiblingVIP for 15% off.
Blenders. Rock with pride worldwide.
Blenders.
Rock with
pride. Worldwide.
Duh.
And we're back. Would you do you, I've seen your stand-up. I've seen all of your stand-up. Not the new stuff you're working on because you're on the road, but both of your specials and stuff. And you talk a lot about Blackness, and you talk about, you don't really have like slave jokes. You have a book.
I do have one slave joke that I tell.
Which one?
I actually have a few slave jokes. I say, I was talking about how when I got invited to do a cruise for the first time, I didn't want to do it, and they were like, "Why not? It's a free cruise." And then I said, "Last time white people offered black folks a free cruise, shit got funky."
Yeah,
is what I said. And then I've made jokes about slavery before.
So, yeah. but coming from a black person, it was like work. But you imagine Jacob was a comedian. Jacob on stage telling slavery jokes. Like, bitch, who you talking to? Who the fuck are you talking to?
I mean,
when it comes from a different race.
I guess it depends on what the perspective is and what the joke is. Like I think it just all depends on what's being said and what is his perspective. What is he saying? Is Jacob saying cotton picking blackies? I'm like, all right, this doesn't seem nuanced. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I think that if Jacob is talking about slavery and how it's affected America, maybe from a right perspective, I could be like, oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting take. It all depends to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that case, yeah. If it's a culturally sensitive, I'm specifically talking about like culturally insensitive jokes, which people would find distasteful. If Jacob was on stage saying the N-word, or if Jacob was, oh my God, I'm sorry using Jacob as a thing, but like if
let's move on from Jacob. Let's switch to Amy Schumer.
Okay, Ezra. If Ezra was on stage saying the N-word.
Yeah, I agree. If Andy was on stage saying the N-word, if Patrick Scott Minor could not stop saying the N-word,
we would grab that bitch by his short little red hairs and fucking beat his white ass up. Yes.
Just after these meals. Yeah.
What?
So, yeah. Oh my God, you're so not cool. You're not hip, Monét. You're not hip at all. You don't know anything that's trendy.
Who are your favorite stand-up comedians, Roberta?
This is literally like hanging out with my aunt, and I'm trying to make a joke about something that all the young people like, and then she's like, "What's going on?" That's you.
And what of it? And if I do go with it, who are your top 5 stand-up comedians?
Did it myself. My top 5. Chris Rock is my favorite comedian of all time. Wanda Sykes.
Oh my God! Were you really upset when he got slapped? Did that really hurt you?
I don't think that it really hurt me. I was shocked, but I don't remember feeling. I don't have that kind of. I don't really have those kind of parasocial relationships, to be honest. The only thing I ever really get defensive of is for some reason when people are mean about divas who are older. There's something in me that kicks in, and I do not like when people like make fun of women for aging poorly. I don't know what it is in me that does not like that. I don't like when people mention that Mariah Carey. I don't like when people in some snarky way mention that Mariah Carey can't sing the way she sang when she was 18 years old. I'm like, who the fuck? What the fuck do you do, bitch? What the fuck can you do, bitch? Like, that's just where I go naturally. I don't know why. I just don't like it. I hate that shit. She can't sing how she used to. But then, bitch, fuck you. What can you fucking do like you used to? Why don't you sing for fucking 3 decades, bitch? Why don't you be the number 1 fucking record selling black female artist of all time? Fuck race of all time, bitch.
She's the highest selling female artist of all time.
Yes, she's the highest selling solo female artist of all time. And she writes all of her own music.
Of all time. Let's see if Bob is correct, y'all. Madonna. Madonna is recognized by Guinness World Records as the best-selling female record artist of all time.
Really?
Really? Really, really?
Interesting. Because what?
According to Wikipedia, it's Britney, bitch.
Wow, so we don't know what to believe. We've heard that Wikipedia says it's Britney. Guinness says
Jacob is wrong. Wikipedia literally says Madonna. Wikipedia literally says it's Madonna. Wikipedia says Madonna. How long Madonna's had that. Telltales Online says Madonna.
I wonder how long Madonna's had that. I wonder how long Madonna's had that title.
Oh, not you trying to age shame Madonna. Oh my God.
No, I'm saying Madonna's discography is
it's Madonna's number 1. Madonna has sold over 300 million records sold. In the next categories between Yeah, 335 million.
I think it's a 335
Celine has 250. Mariana has 250. Rihanna Barbados in the motherfucking house. Mariah Carey has 220 million. So Madonna is shitting on these hoes by over 100 million records, baby.
Madonna's another one that I get really defensive of. I'm like, leave this bitch alone. Leave this bitch alone. Beyonce. Sometimes I defend these divas and people think I'm like a massive Madonna fan or a huge Beyonce fan. I'm like, I like them and I love their music. I'm not like a diehard. I'm not like a lamb, or I'm not really in the Beehive. I don't know what Madonna calls her fans, but
Rihanna Navy.
I just don't like when people. Is it Rihanna Navy?
The Navy, yeah.
I don't like that.
Wow, why are you coming for women in music?
I just don't get why her fans are called the Navy. I don't get it.
Because we swim hard for Rihanna.
Does Rihanna mean water? Does Rihanna mean water? A river or something? Why are they the Navy? I don't get it. Does Rihanna mean...
Does Rihanna mean water? But the Navy is named after an image in Rihanna's 2000 R-rated song G4L.
Oh my! You're both talking at the same time. You can't. This is too much.
Yeah. So the Rihanna Navy fans are called because in 2000 it rated our song G4L, which states we're an army, a navy, and crazy gun soaring overhead. Since she started a battleship in 2012, it's because it was a lyric in a song.
Oh, I still don't like it. I don't like that.
Wait, what are Madonna fans called?
I don't know what Madonna fans are called.
What?
I have no clue.
Madonna fans called. I don't think they have a name.
Senior citizens.
Oh wow! Damn, Jacob, your boyfriend over here reading old women in music.
So shady.
They're called Rebel Hearts.
Madonna's fans are called Rebel Hearts.
Rebel
That
Hearts.
must be new because was her answer called Rebel Heart? Was her album called Rebel Heart? And
Yeah, but maybe Rebel Heart was something from back in the day, and she just called a new album that. You know what I mean?
the Rebel Hearts. Anyway, Chris Rock, Wanda Sykes is so fucking funny.
So number two.
Samore is absolutely.
Samore is great.
Huh?
So
Samore is
Chris Rock is your number one. Who's number two?
Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
Samore.
Mm-hmm.
I also really love Adele Givens.
Mm-hmm. Last one.
And I don't know who the fifth place is, but I can give a couple of honorable mentions.
No, but you have to give a five. You have to give a five. Come on. Honorable mention. Bitch, a five.
I don't know who the fifth is. I don't know who the fifth is. Maybe I'm figuring it out in this moment. I really think that Daniel, not Daniel Tosh. I think that Bo Burnham is really funny.
Is that the one that you always get me to watch?
I literally one time. You watched Bo Burnham with me literally one time. I have not always made you watch Bo Burnham.
Okay.
I often ask you to watch this, and then finally we got around to it. We have watched Bo Burnham together one time. I'm not always making you watch Bo Burnham.
Okay, and y'all know Bob, and Bob, you know this is a pattern in our friendship. It was always going on a month if you asked me to do this, and I wouldn't do it. So when I say the one that you always got me to watch, because I mean, in that chunk of time, you're like, Monét, you need to watch this. I'd be like, no. The next thing, Monét, you need to watch it. What are you doing now? Bitch, what you doing now? I have to go home. It was like, and again,
I wanted to watch a movie with you, but
okay.
the way, the insinuation sounds like I am, literally 6 years ago, I asked Monét to watch one movie. And now Monét is like the one you're always trying to get me to watch.
Yes.
I have not recommended a Bo Burnham movie to you since that day.
But it was a journey to get to that one. So again,
I probably asked you like 4 times. I literally probably asked you 4 times.
No, more than 4 times. Way more than 4 times. Bob, I'm like, anyway, whatever. So Bo Burnham is number 5?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. But I think Bo Burnham's really funny.
You like Jim Gaffigan.
I really enjoy. Jim Gaffigan's pretty funny. I like King Baby. I also really, I don't know, that fifth spot is going to be up for grabs for a minute. But
do you want to? Can I make a suggestion?
This is not Drag Race season 4. This is not season 14. We're not doing the top. We're not doing the top 5.
Can I make a suggestion for your 5th place?
Okay, what is it going to be?
Monét X Change.
You know, I think you are a good comedian. I think you have to work on your delivery, and maybe if you had more time on your craft, you know what I mean? I think Mateo Lane is really funny.
Mateo is so funny.
I would say whenever I go out to see comedy shows with Mateo, he's pretty consistently the funniest person up there every single time. So Mateo is up in there as well. I also feel like I want to give a big shout out to some other great comedians: Jared Goldstein, Solomon Giorgio, Zach Noe Towers. These are all some local comedians that I know from here in LA. Who are your top favorite? I'm going to give you 3. I'm not going to make you name your top 15. Who are your top 3 favorite comedians?
Top 3. I will say, because of the first special I ever watched, and it was so fucking funny to me. She just taught me what storytelling was in a joke. Ellen DeGeneres, although I don't think she's as funny anymore, but that's neither here nor there. Ellen DeGeneres, Monique. I fucking think Monique is so goddamn funny.
You're right. Oh, Monique is great.
Monique is so fucking good. And the 3rd spot, my 3rd favorite comedian. Oh my God, Chelsea, oh my God. Chelsea Handler. I love Chelsea Handler. Chelsea is, oh my God, this is why I've been tracing around the country. Chelsea Handler, my 3rd. So Ellen, Monique, Chelsea Handler. What do you love about those comedians, Mo? Again, with Ellen, I love the way that she crafts stories, and she's so good at misdirection in her special at the beginning. And it was, I still think it's one of the best specials I've ever seen in my life. Monique, I love how irreverent Monique is. I love how I love how Monique has a way. Monique obviously knows how to deliver a good punchline. Besides just her comedy, I love finding out that she was like a good serious actor too. She's also a good physical comedian. Yeah. Well, we're talking about the Parkers. So I love that about Monique and Chelsea Handler. I love Chelsea because I'm talking about from a talk show space, like doing it in a talk show and formatting your comedy to fit into that. I think requires a different skill set, and I just love how Chelsea did it. I thought she's so dry. And I fucking love Chelsea Handler. Why do you like Chris Rock?
Chris Rock is just so smart. The way that he crafts words, the way that he tells stories, the way that he ties back to jokes from earlier, the way that he does callbacks, his voice, his body language. I also personally love a comedian who laughs at their own jokes. It encourages me to laugh at their jokes. Chris Rock laughs at his own jokes. Joan Rivers laughs at her own jokes. And I really like comedians who laugh at their own jokes. To me, for some reason, that is funny. Maybe because I laugh at my own jokes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that Samore is just, oh my God, Samore, the way that she looks at things, the way that Samore talks. I love a funny voice. Samore, Chris Rock, and Wanda Sykes all have really interesting voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say.
And I like the way that Samore really gets the crowd on her side. She really gets the crowd. Like, they're so riled up when she's doing her stand-up. Mm-hmm. I love the way she dressed. I love how she is so serious about incorporating fashion into her. It's just so great that she's interested in incorporating fashion into her stand-up. Wanda Sykes is just so clever. The way that she thinks of things, like she has a bit about her pussy and how she wished she could take it off. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about something really serious, which is like a woman being afraid to go jogging at night, but she has a way of making it really funny and relatable and I don't even have a pussy and I'm laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's really fucking smart.
I think
the idea of something so funny is like, I wish I could take my pussy off and go jogging. That's funny to me, you know?
I think that we should, for a Patreon exclusive, should we sit down and watch one comedy special with the other one? Like you and I watch Ellen DeGeneres at the beginning, and then you and I watch Chris Rock or some more.
I might have you either watch Chandelier Status with some more, or maybe Never Scared Chris Rock, or maybe Queens of Comedy. Or maybe Queens of Comedy.
Oh, I've seen Queens of Comedy. Queens of Comedy was so cool.
It was brilliant. You know that format was really big for the Kings of Comedy made that format, like that 4 comedians on one dais, one lineup. It ended up launching like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Queens of Comedy, the Latin Kings of Comedy, and it was Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac, and Steve Harvey.
Yeah. A lot of kids don't even know that Steve Harvey was fully a comedian. He wasn't always the guy with the mustache doing The Price is Right. I mean, Family Feud. This nigga was a comedian. Then remember when Steve Harvey was selling suits? I mean, he probably still does. But when Steve Harvey went into the suit game, bitch, my church was up. It was pandemonium at my church. Everybody had a Steve Harvey suit.
Oh, were they buying the suits?
Oh, yes.
That's so funny. I mean, by the time I was in Steve Harvey selling suits, I was out of the church business. I had left the church for a long time by that point. You know, Steve Harvey and Cat Williams got into this like almost like a rap battle, but it was like comedy instead. And it was this whole thing where they were like do a double billing, and it was like, if I'm funnier than you, then you have to quit comedy. It was wild.
Interesting. That's another Cat Williams. He was popular. Like Cat Williams. Remember, Cat Williams was like the man in comedy, and then something like crazy happened. Like he got like arrested, or there was some like crazy legal thing that happened. But Cat Williams used to be. He
had a lot of run-ins with like weapons. He was carrying a lot of weapons. I think it was. He had weapons charges.
Oh, in the Black community, people used to go up for Cat Williams. Like right when I was in like middle school or like early high school, people used to love Cat Williams.
Well, I think it started because Cat Williams had a role in one of the Friday movies.
Mm-hmm, Next Friday, he played like that girl's boyfriend, like her little boyfriend. He was like a drug dealer, or something like that.
And because Friday was so popular in the Black community, obviously,
yeah,
because the Friday franchise was so popular in the Black community, if you could land a role in one of those movies, you would be like a black celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Cat Williams had some really great moments. And then he had like a short-lived rap career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that those weapons charges really, really kicked his ass.
Okay, let me ask you this. Before all of the, the recent drama, were you a big Chappelle fan?
Yeah,
Did you watch
I used to love the
Chappelle
Dave Chappelle show.
Mm.
I used to love the Dave Chappelle show. I thought it was a brilliant show. Yeah, I really loved it a lot. And it certainly has had me, this recent drama has certainly had me I'm not going to say it made his earlier stuff any less funny. You know what I mean? I think that maybe his perspective has shifted a lot. But then also, Dave Chappelle has a few moments where he would like, even later in like earlier in his career before this stuff, he would like align himself. He would like do parallels between the black struggle and the queer struggle as if they weren't the same thing, as if there were not people experiencing both of those at the same time, which was very interesting to me.
Interesting. I think I was too young to watch the Chappelle show. Like I remember my brother would watch it, but I don't remember because it was like it was just like a little slightly too old for me to like fully get the jokes.
Do you think that watching a comedian after they've had controversy is makes them less funny?
I think it can. I think once you know a lot more about that comedian later on in life, like once you know about the really problematic and transphobic things Chappelle is saying now, you go back and watch his old sketches and you're like, wow, so that's what this was rooted in. You're like, so this is where this is coming from. So when you made this joke back in 2004 about whatever, this is probably how you really felt. And I think that will affect your ability to want to laugh / think if it's funny.
I agree. Yeah, it's just kind of like listening to an artist that you like, but you know they're problematic, and it does make it a little less easy to enjoy that person.
For sure.
I don't think it necessarily goes back and undoes the humor they've done, but watching it in hindsight, it does feel less funny. It makes it harder to enjoy when you go back and watch it in hindsight. But in the moment, it was very funny. But also, we knew less than we know now.
And also, the same thing goes to Kanye West. Like now with all the crazy Kanye did and all of the fucking Jimmy flicks he was doing for the 2020 election and how he was trying to like run himself and like cause all this conflama.
Jimmy flex? What does that mean?
Oh, it's a St. Lucia thing, like chaos.
Got it.
Yeah. Like knowing that now, like, did Kanye produce great fucking music? Of course. But when I listen to it, I just do not enjoy it the same because I know that this motherfucker was really out here trying to get black people to vote for him. Not just black people, just get people to vote for him and perhaps potentially fucking ruin the election. Like, I just can't get over that in my head. At least now.
I mean, it is hard for me to, I don't know. I still listen to College Dropout, and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a. But also, I think Kanye West has there's a lot going on with Kanye West that is a lot deeper than just him being problematic. Kanye West has a lot of I think he's acknowledged publicly has a lot of mental health issues that he's constantly battling, and Kanye West is one of those folks that it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't it does not feel fun to make fun of him anymore. And I've learned that I felt that way about I will say in my comedy, it does feel less, I don't know, something has shifted in comedy for me too, even where I don't, What do you think? Making fun of Azalea Banks, people making fun of Kanye West doesn't feel great.
How do you feel about this new wave of comedians? Because this is something that's interesting talk I have with someone about. Now it's encouraged for comedians to put a lot of their put some of their sets on TikTok or on their Instagrams, whatever. And then someone comes out to your show and they're hearing the same jokes. Whereas before it was kind of frowned upon. Well, you can tell me more about this for people to record comedians doing stand-up because those are jokes that they're working, that they're trying to work out and see they want to keep on, what they want to change. But now everyone's just putting all of their stuff online.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think most comedians who are actually working it smartly are not putting all of their stuff online. They're probably just putting a few jokes they've been telling for years. So if you have a joke you've been telling for years, you'll go and put that up because that's not going to go in your special. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of comedians will like try to build an hour at a time. And like they'll basically try to build an hour every couple of years, like every 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years, to try to build out a new hour, which does take a while to build up. I mean, I know there are interesting comedians who have done stuff like Kathy Griffin, who did 4 specials in a year one time, which was absolutely wild. I don't know how she did that, but her comedy was also very gossipy, almost podcasty style. Her stand-up was.
Yeah, talking about celebrity interactions.
Yeah. And she kept having these wild interactions, so she kept having wild stories to go along with them. You know what I mean? So I do think that I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as you're being smart and not putting all your stuff out there. You know,
I mean, TikTok a lot of people
too. Like I don't mind hearing a joke more than once personally.
I don't either. I don't either. Especially sometimes I hate online, but like to there's a live performance. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like being in the room when it's happening. Yeah, I've heard it before, but being in the room as the comedian is structuring it, even though I know where the punchline is, I still enjoy it, and I'm still like it's funny to me. I'm not bothered by that either. What do you think about this wave
watching a comedy show expecting the comedian to tell new jokes every time? That's like going to a Beyonce concert and expecting her to sing a brand new song at every concert. That doesn't make any sense. That does not make sense.
But on that note, on that token, how do you feel about TikTok comedians? Like people who are now, having full on comedy careers after just like doing a few 60-second.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say just a few. A lot of them usually build them up. Like Jess Hilarious and B Simone are like these Instagram, TikTok comedians who have made their careers from there, and now they have successful stand-up careers. Now, granted, I have never seen their stand-up. I've never seen Jess Hilarious stand-up. I've never seen B Simone stand-up. Pretty sure you and B Simone all have the same agent. Actually, I'm almost positive. But I've never seen her stand-up, so I cannot vouch for how funny she is without Instagram. But there is something interesting about people like Heartthrob Rob has like a show he's working on apparently, and Randy Rainbow has a full show that he tours with, and Randy Rainbow does he does like the Ace Theater.
Yeah, but also Randy Rainbow is like he's doing it's his whole persona. He has like songs, he has like these videos. It's like Randy Rainbow is like it's almost more so a one man show than just stand up.
Well, B Simone too. B Simone raps and does. Comedy.
Really?
So I don't know if her show includes rap in it, but B Simone does every once in a while release like a freestyle on her Instagram page. Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you don't know, B Simone is the one behind that voice that everyone's doing, baby girl.
I love Jess Hilarious. Is the one who does that. I follow Jess Hilarious on Instagram. I think Jess Hilarious is so funny. She always has she puts out these funny little short stories on Instagram, and they're always so funny because it's always shit that you be like.
She's like my dude. She's more of a deep voice than like.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah, just as a deep voice, and a lot of them are like sex things. It'd be like a minute and 30-second video about like when he busting you and you forgot to put in your IUD, and it's like her whole mental gymnastics around that. I think it's very funny. She's very story. Well, in her Instagram, it's story formulaic, story driven comedy.
She just posted a really funny video, and it was called like when the playlist like does a dramatic shift mid fucking and they don't change it. It was she's disco. Like getting fucked, and then the song's like celebrate good time, come on, and she's just like, you're not gonna
nigga, you gay.
Okay, you're not gonna switch it out. She got to some controversy too because she was saying some like interesting
on a plane
like Islam. Yeah, there was a Sikh man on a plane, and then she was like recording him being like, I don't feel comfortable with him on a plane, and then they deboarded the whole plane and made him leave.
That is crazy.
And then she was like, see, I told y'all, and everyone's like, no, this is not the take, Jess. You're not nailing it, Jess. This is not it.
Yeah, that's wild. That is so wild to me. People live in America and they do crazy shit like that, and not just America, anywhere in the world. But
I don't know the difference between Sikhs and Muslims too, which is.
Yeah,
I guess if you're not familiar with Sikh culture, it can be easy to confuse a Sikh person with a Muslim person.
What are
Monét,
your goals?
I've enjoyed.
I'm not done. I'm not done talking to you.
Okay.
What are your goals to your comedy? Where do you what is your ultimate goal? What do you want to do with your comedy?
I don't think in terms of ultimate goal because I don't have an end game. I don't have like once I've done this, it's a wrap for me. But I have goals I want to make. One of my big goals, I would love to sell out and headline the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. That would really feel like a massive achievement to me. Being someone who's gone there, so many times and driven by it and just thought to myself like, oh my God, imagine being on stage at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. I would love to be able to do that. I think that one day I would love to have my own like talk show or some sort of a late night show where I get to interact with people and have fun with them in that regard. I also think that I want to just keep doing specials. I have a couple ideas for specials that I really want to do. I have 2 released and I'm excited about trying to do another one. How about you?
I find myself in like a very weird intersection. Like I don't want to just do stand up. I want to do more of a one-woman show, and that's incorporating music and also stories. And I think about like Whoopi Goldberg's like old one-woman shows. Like there were like some amalgamation of like a Whoopi Goldberg one-woman show with music, with like just like regular stand up. So, but a goal that I would love to do would be to this is a lofty goal. I don't know if I'll ever come close to this, but bitch, if I could sell out Madison Square Garden one day, just doing the Monét exchange, whatever the fuck, I would jizz on every seat. I would store up enough loads to put a droplet of load on every seat because I would be that excited.
That's like a very sharp left turn. I think that selling out Madison Square Garden is a goal that you probably could achieve one day, and I don't think you should sell yourself short, bucko.
Thank you, Bob.
I think the only I think Amy Schumer is the only female comedian to ever sell out Madison Square Garden.
Who's the male comedian that did it? Why has any comedian done it?
I don't know.
Let me see.
I'm not sure, but I know that she's done it, and it was like a big thing.
Comedians who sold out Madison Square Garden. First search.
Jacob has a list. You want to just hand it to me, Jacob, so you have to give him the mic. All right,
9 comedians have done it. Eddie Murphy.
9 comedians have ever sold out Madison Square Garden. It was Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, Chris Rock, Russell Peters, Dane Cook, Kevin Hart, Louis C.K., and Aziz Ansari.
Where's Amy Schumer?
Maybe Amy Schumer did Barclays. Maybe she did Barclays.
No, I remember it being Madison Square Garden. This was written 7 years ago.
Oh. Then add Amy Schumer to the list.
Yeah, she definitely won. Yeah, that's fierce. Yeah, girl. Bob, do you think
Mateo tours with Aziz Ansari, and his tours are wild. Apparently,
I didn't realize how huge Aziz Ansari was.
Massive.
Joe Coy is huge too.
Aziz Ansari, he's huge. Yeah, well, that I know.
I didn't know that.
No, Joe Coy is a pretty big deal, and what's his name? Hassan Minhaj. Mateo also tours with Hassan Minhaj, and apparently he's also massive.
Really?
You love Hassan Minhaj.
I love Hassan. I just didn't know how big his comedy was, and he's another comedian. Honestly, I really like his comedy too. I love how because he's so smart, and honestly, a smart comedian, bitch. So fucking hot. He's such a smart comedian. I used to watch his show on Netflix. What was it? No, I can't remember. The one that I told you. Yeah, the Patriot Act. Why I told you niggas shouldn't go on cruises because on maritime law, niggas be killing bitches on cruises. Bitch, don't be going on no cruise. Anyway, he's also, so smart. Last thing
I say before we go, Hassan Minhaj is very, very good looking. Ooh, that is a beautiful. Woof. Hassan Minhaj is. I do not go in for too many straight guys.
Just about to say that you hate straight dudes.
The two are Wiz Khalifa and Hassan Minhaj. These two are hot. I'd be looking at Hassan. I'd be like, "Ooh, Hassan."
Would you? Okay, if Wiz Khalifa would hook up with you, he's like on one condition: you got a bottom from me. Would you do it?
Yeah, I'm not anti-bottoming. I'm not like.
I'm just asking.
I'm never. You act like I'm some like. Don't touch my asshole. Strict top. I'm not that girl.
I never said that. But I was just asking if you. It's not something that you frequent. You do not drive down that street regularly. Sometimes you decoy down there, and the last time was a long time ago.
Yeah, but there seemed to be a slight insinuation that I'm like, don't go. It felt like maybe you weren't saying that at all, but it felt like it'd be far fetched for me to get my tight little tiny taint beat up. My tiny little petite
the two
taint.
fingers. You're such a lie. Honestly, okay. I propose Sibling Rivalry. We take a trip to a doctor, and the doctor's gonna measure each of our taints and tell us how many inches. Because I just don't think you're measuring correctly, and the internet thinks you're fucking with us. We're gonna go to a doctor together. We're gonna do it Kardashian style.
It's a possibility that I just have a very tiny taint, and y'all niggas got big monster gooches.
The fact that Jacob and Patty, who are both like a fifth of our size.
Jacob, talk to me, Jacob.
I think maybe the problem is you need to specify exactly where you're starting and ending your measurements. Maybe you're starting and ending at different places.
I'm putting my fingers.
I don't know how much clearer we can be. We're starting at the end of the balls to the asshole. I don't know where Bob is measuring.
Yeah, and I'm in. Once I put my fingers at the bottom of my balls, within 2 fingers, I'm in Hole Town.
Your finger's in your hole.
It's added. Like if this is the balls, this is the hole.
Wow.
There,
girl,
it's not here. My hole's not here.
You're a fucking spider.
I'm petite.
You can probably spew some fucking webbing out of there. Spider-Man.
I'm petite. I don't know what you want from me.
What are you and Andrew Short doing later?
None of your business. Me and Andrew Short are hanging out. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're hanging out because we're friends.
Okay.
Super secrets. I'll tell you. I can tell you in a couple of weeks. How about that? When you talk about your deconstructed photos, I'll tell you what me and Andy did.
Okay.
Bye, bitch.
You're so fucking wild. Goodbye.